How's everybody doing? Welcome back to Misery's Company. Today I'm going a little bit off script. I want to talk about what I do for a living. You guys see me out there exercising for work. I like to exercise. I am into fitness. I walk and I talk, but I definitely walk the talk if you want to keep it real. Anyways, today I want to talk about Machinist, my job. It's what I do for a living. Um, it's been good to me. It's been good to me. I want to take you from the beginning all the way to where I'm at today and explain along the way how I feel. From apprentice to journeyman, you make your own decision. Leave it down in the comments. Like, subscribe. Let's move on from that. Okay, people. So I was working at a job. I won't say where it was at. It was a big company. Uh, they had a post. They would always post these things on the wall to say this job, that job, tow motor driver, line lead, supervisor. Which is cool because they hired inside of the company, so they didn't look outside of the company to get jobs. They wanted the upgrades in the pay and the job to be part of people that they already have, which was cool. I seen it and it was a big one. Usually they're not big. They have this like little poster on the wall that says this is how much it makes, the hours, the job description, whatever. This one was like a big elaborate thing. It said, "Do you like to work on cars?" Me? No. "Are you good at math?" Me? No. Uh, all these different things that they asked, but I knew that I was a hard worker. I've always been competitive at what I do, and the best at whatever it is I do. I treat a job as like a sport. Like I want to be the number one guy at it. So I applied for it. It was like the biggest one. I was like, yeah, let me get that job. They're hiring people that are inside the shop anyway, so let me try that out. I applied for it, and months went by, and I completely forgot about. I didn't even tell nobody about it because I didn't want to because it was like the biggest job in the whole entire shop. This is like besides like supervisor or something. This was the biggest job. It was the best job, the most qualified job, and I got a message from my supervisor at the end of one of my shifts. It was like 12-hour shifts. The message was like, "Hey, they want to see you in the office at the mold shop." And I'm like, damn, what the hell did I do, man? Like thinking every time I get called to an office, I feel like it's something I did. I don't know about you, but I felt like it was something I did. I'm like, what did I do? And in the mold shop, what did I break? So I go into the mold shop at the end of my shift, and after my interview, I'm not even going to talk about the interview. The interview, they interviewed a bunch of people, you know, and they asked me, and they said, I think I was, man, I'm going to mess the math up, even though I'm excellent at math. I'm not, uh, I don't know, like 30 something. I was 30 something, and I'm like 40 something now. So they were like, what makes you think that you could do this whenever you're that old? Do you really? Because it was college. It was a full ride in college as well, along with work experience in a big company. And I was like, I'm the best at what I do. I did a really good interview. Anyways, they called me into the office at the end of the shift, thought I was in trouble for something, and they said, "Hey, you got the job." It was like this little tiny office. There was like a bunch of people in there. And I felt like screaming, but I didn't do it. And if I could do it again, you would have heard me screaming throughout the entire giant plant. So I got the job, and the job entailed that you go to college. It was an apprenticeship. You go to college and you work. These were 12-hour shifts, 3 on, 4 off, 4 on, 3 off. But with the college apprenticeship, it was an 8-hour shift, 5 days a week. So basically, I had to we made our own schedules. Like when we went to college, we would make our own schedules. Like I had a class at 9 in the morning until I don't know 10:30 in the morning, and then I would have to still make my hours at work. They would work with me with the college. So if I got there at 6, and I had to be at college at 8 and out at 9, and then I would work the rest of the hours that I was at college to make up for. I still had to do my 8 hours at work, no matter what. Sporadic schedule. It was really when I got. I'm sorry. I'm gonna get away from what I'm talking about. I'll come back to that. I knew nothing. I lied about everything. I'm not a liar, but I really wanted this job. I mean, I got kids. I'm a up and coming man. I need a career. I'm tired of doing a lot of things. You know what I mean? So, are you good at cars? Yeah. No, I don't like cars. I hate cars, and it sucks working on them. I don't know nothing about them. My brother's really good at it, but that's another story later. Are you good at math? No, not really, but I want this job. I got the job. Uh, and now here I am in this field of being a machinist, and I don't know anything. I don't, the first time I tapped something, I didn't even know what a tap was. I didn't even think about it. Why would I even care? Like, it has nothing to do with me. Like, drills and drill sizes and stuff like this. Like it didn't apply in my life and the work that I was doing and raising my family. I was confused. I was complete like a brand new baby, like a brand new in the entire world of this stuff. Like didn't know anything. Uh, and I remember the first time because what they would have you do is you work with this guy for 3 months and you work with this guy for 3 months and you work with this guy for three and they would pass you around, and the reason they do that is because you pick up an idea from this guy that's really good, and then you pick up an idea from this guy that's really good. You're like, oh, that idea from that guy, this guy's got a better idea, and eventually you pick up your own way of doing things that works for you. It's like a, I don't know, like making the ultimate mutant or something, you know, of machinery or machinists. And it worked, you know, and they found out that I was really good right away. Let me go back real quick before I get there. Uh, this guy that I was working with, the first one, they called him the Hammer, and it w- there's so much to say. They called him the Hammer. Anyways, they had me tap in this. It was like a key that was cut in half to tap through the two of them with a small tap, and it was like I've tapped things maybe 5 times in my entire life at this point. Like I've been working there for less than a year, and broke the tap. He's like, and he went to the Bridgeport, and he machined it out. Boom, got it, brought it back to me. Boom, broke another one. Went to the machine to the Bridgeport, and drilled it out. And I was thinking in my head at that point in time, like, man, I might not be cut out for this. This might not be the line of work that I'm into. Like, man, I might be in over my head. In the meantime, I've learned to tap. I'm really good at it. Uh, but in the meantime, you know, I'm going to school. I'm going to college. I'm going to work, going to college, going to work, college, work, college. And eventually they found out that I'm really talented at manual machinists, because a lot of them got all of them guys except for like they had a small machine shop. It was a mold shop. Excuse me. It was a mold shop, a mold repair shop. So it was a lot of welding, benching, and then fitting things in. But they did have a CNC machine shop, but they had like 3 or 4 CNCs, and the rest were manual in this little cage. It was small, and they found I'm a really hard worker. So, like I said, I'm competitive. What I do, I'm a really hard worker, and they told me, and they always stuck me with the best guys. I was with the best guys every time. The guy that brought me up ended up being the next supervisor. The guy that he stuck me with after he was a supervisor was the best guy that he knew was the best guy. I was always like the next up. Like they knew I was really good, and it was always manual machinist, learning to fit, bench, and all this stuff. And they always told me that CNCs were just button pushers. That's what they said. And I believed it. And I'm like, yeah, I work really hard. I'm working with the best guys. The CNC guy, yeah, he's over there. He's clean all day. I'm freaking dirty. And he's got his hands in his pocket. They're like, what, are his hands cold? He's just standing there watching a CNC machine. Long story short, the company has to lay people off. Excuse me. They have to lay people off. And I'm apprentice still. I'm at the bottom end of the most expensive department in the shop. So me and one other guy got laid off. And mind you, I had like less than a year left of college. I didn't even finish my 4 years. So that was heartbreaking, I can get into it if you guys want to talk about it later on. I love these guys, man. They taught me everything I know, and I'm really good. Anyways, now I got laid off. They gave me some severance pay. I got to find a new job. I went to this other job. It said hiring machinist, but it was basically a lie. Hiring machinist. I ended up doing something else, which was really, really stupid. And they're paying me like nothing, like $12 an hour, and I was making double that, over double that. It changed my life. This career changed my life at this point in time. I went from paycheck to paycheck to now, like, wow, I'm in a different tax bracket. I had to fix my taxes and everything. And my school was done, even though I had less than a year left to do. And I'm laid off during Christmas time, mind you, with a family. End up at that job, that crappy job, and it was raining one day. And I said, I got to go out there, take this rain day, call off. I need to get out of here. I need to find me a machinist job. So that's what I did. And I went all over my neighborhood where I grew up at, and applied at every place that looked like a machine shop, like a real machine shop. And eventually I landed on the place where I'm at today. I'm loyal to a fault. I'll stay there and try to be the best that I can be. But we'll get into that. I took some notes. We got posted for the job. My first take. It's an interesting job. It's like being an artist. You're really. It's like you stand back. Like, I heard that women don't do this, but men do, where you like stand back and you like look at something that you've done because you're proud of it. This job is like that, you're really proud of what you did. And we're in tight tolerances. Like one whisker on my gray beard could make a part good or bad. That's how tight the tolerance is. And they teach us this, and they were excellent at what they did, teaching us. It was a really good program where I came from. I was so sad that I got laid off. We went through college. We got laid off. I got transferred. Then I found myself where I'm at now, and it's what you would call the job shop. So what a job shop is, essentially, what I came to find out is it's a place where they do jobs instead of like where I came from, where it was they had one setup for a job that you would do over and over and over. So they would already have the same setup, the same way to do it. I mean, you still learn things, but they have that way of doing things, right? CNC machinists are just button pushers, mind you. Manual machinists, they're the real workers, right? So now I'm in this job shop, and I got really lucky. It's like God has like slid me along the way in just the right ways to be just with the right people up until now, which is the same situation. Now I'm in this Bridgeport manual area, and this is a job shop, and they have like, I'm terrified, by the way. I feel like I don't know enough. And here I am. I say, yeah, that I can do the job, and I can. I've learned a lot, but they have really complex setups and stuff that like I said, I came from a place that didn't have complicated setups. They were just, every time you do it this way. This time, every time you do it a different way. And I didn't know how to do a lot of setups because I haven't seen a lot of setups. But there was this one guy, and he was the supervisor of the night shift. And the night shift consisted of 5 guys. The whole shop was 5 guys. I remember my first break when I didn't even know how long the shifts were when I showed up. It was night shift. And when I thought that it was about to be first break, I needed a cigarette. And I went up to him and I asked, when's break? Because I really need a cigarette. He's like, oh, this is night shift. You smoke where you work. I thought he was joking. And this guy walks by me and he's smoking a cigarette. And I'm like, okay, this is different. Anyways, that guy ended up being a really good mentor. And like comparison to the first shop, he was the man. He knew what he was doing, and he worked a conversational mill, uh, a Milltronics, and all that complex stuff that I thought I was gonna have to figure out. It got done over on the Milltronics. I'll get to it. Anyways, so I'm working. This guy taught me a lot, man. He taught me so many things, so many different, compared to what I was from, so many different setups, so many complicated things. He noticed me and he brought me into the Milltronics, and he really showed me from the ground up how to work the Milltronics mill, the conversational CNC, and I can run it, just like he can run it. I mean, he's smarter. I'm not going to say just like he can run it. These old guys, if you know. I can run the Milltronics. He taught me how to run it. Long story short, this is my career. This is my career. I've worked in this job shop for, I don't know, I'd say like 5 years, and I would say I've learned a lot. It's a family business, a small family business. They let you get away with a lot. There's no thank you. The only time that you hear from anybody is when you did something wrong. Hopefully, isn't that often, but it does happen. I've learned a lot. I would say anybody that would want to learn, that's coming into the career, would want to learn a lot really fast to work in a job shop. They're going to be really tight with the money. They pay me all right. I can be making more. I could be making a lot more, but I've learned things that money can't buy. I didn't come in there saying, let me get to that. I didn't, my last year when I got laid off was going to be my CNC spot. It was going to be when I learned CNC, like doing all the CNC things. That's when I got laid off. They told me I was good at manual, and all them guys were button pushers. And I want to tell you right now, if anybody tells you that, that's a lie, because the CNC machinists, they make the most. I don't know why. I believe everybody that runs a CNC should have experience on manual first. It should be a stepping pattern. And now I'm here. I'm really good, really hard worker I can run any manual machine. I can grind. I can do all these things. I'm not that guy that sits on one machine and stays there until my retirement. I can run every manual machine in the entire shop, and I like to. I don't want to be stuck on none of these machines. But I missed out on my CNC opportunity. Now I'm kind of in that spot, like, should I go back to my last year of college and get that experience and really focus? And I think that's what I want to do. You guys will be with me when I do it, so you'll know when I do it, and I'll take you along the ride with me. That being said, this has been really long-winded. My final thoughts on everything. This career changed my life. It completely changed my life. It made things better for me exponentially. I love what I do. I don't have that job where I don't want to go to work every day. I love what I do. I'm proud of what I do. Not a fan of where I work at, but we work on it. I would say anybody getting into this field, CNC is the future, and they should have told me that, and I believe that to be true. But I believe you need to have my skills to be able to move but that's not how it works. These guys are coming in running CNCs right off the bat. Boom, CNC, which is fine, You'll learn too that way. I think it's better, the other way around. But it's a great career. You know, we make everything. You know, space. If I was wherever Elon Musk is at, I could apply for his job. I've had people come into the shop that worked for SpaceX, so I could work at SpaceX. You know what I mean? Titans of CNC, I could work there too. So I would advise it. I wouldn't say like to my son like that. I told him, yeah, you have this in the back pocket if you want to move in this direction. I wouldn't make you do it. It's up to you. It's not for everybody. It's a stressful job. We're working with real tight tolerances. It's a lot like a surgeon. Like you have one shot to make it work. You can't weld everything, you know, especially when you're working with government things, you know, like things that go into outer space and rockets and, you know. Uh, all right, I think I've rambled on enough. Leave comments down. I was just like, you guys don't know anything about me. I'm brand new. I'm kind of trying to let you into my life and understand where I come from and the machinists, if there are any. Maybe this will bring machinists over to be interested in conversations I'm having. Uh, thanks for watching. Thank you for your time. Uh, Misery's Company. Like, subscribe, and please comment. Please, I have no comments yet. I would love, because what I want to do is when I get comments, the best comment that I get, I want to make shorts about that comment. I want to elaborate. So make sure you do comment. Like, subscribe, sorry, like, subscribe, and comment. And all my machinists out there, keep it trucking, baby.